Remember when King Kong was a good guy? Years before the Super Friends assembled their Justice League, there was a giant ape traveling the world with his human family, battling mad scientists and robot duplicates. Let's count down the 10 most shocking facts you never knew about the King Kong show.
This river carries all the goods of Africa up toward the Suez Canal.
Number 10. The Spy Show Within a Show. Here's something that'll jog your memory. Kong wasn't even the only star of his own show. Sandwiched between giant ape adventures was a completely separate segment called Tom of Tumb, featuring a secret agent shrunk down to 3 inches tall. That's right, your Saturday morning gave you kaiju battles and James Bond parodies in the same half-hour block.
No more of those seeds for you, bird. Remember, fella, beneath those feathers, you're still a secret chirp.
Tom and his partner, Swinging Jack, fought an evil organization called MAD, operating from their tiny headquarters while fighting regular-sized villains. It was essentially Get Smart meets Fantastic Voyage, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Kong.
Doctor Who.
So you're the root of the mystery. I should have guessed.
Think of it as the original Variety Pack cartoon, decades before networks started bundling shows together. If you remember singing along to 2 completely different theme songs in one sitting, you're not crazy. That actually happened.
It's Doctor Who.
Number 9. The villain named after a Time Lord. The show's big bad wasn't some prehistoric dinosaur or island deity. It was a bald, big-headed mad scientist simply named Doctor Who. No relation whatsoever to the British Time Lord, despite sharing the exact same name that was already on TV in England. This Doctor Who was obsessed with one thing: capturing Kong for his own twisted experiments and world domination schemes. He showed up episode after episode with increasingly bizarre plans, from robot armies to island fortresses. The character became so iconic that he jumped from animation to live action, serving as the template for the villain in the 1967 film King Kong Escapes.
As far as I'm concerned, all guys from outer space are creeps.
Imagine naming your main antagonist after another show's hero and just rolling with it. The 60s were a different time, folks. Doctor Who became Kong's arch-nemesis, and somehow, nobody got sued.
I have sent word to Professor Bond as you requested, inviting him to team.
Number 8. Captain Engelhorn, The Last Thread to 1933. While everything else got a complete makeover, the show kept one direct link to the original King Kong. Captain Engelhorn, the brave ship captain from the 1933 film, returned, not as a ruthless adventurer, but as the heroic pilot of the Susan B., the Bond family's globe-trotting vessel.
Holly! Gee, if anything happens to your mascot, I'll never forgive myself.
He was your classic square-jawed action hero, steering the ship through monster-infested waters and keeping everyone safe. In a show that transformed Kong from terrifying beast to gentle giant, Engelhorn was the bridge between old and new. He represented the classic adventure spirit of the original film, transplanted into this brighter, friendlier universe. Think of him as the show's way of saying, we haven't completely forgotten where we came from.
A giant sphinx.
He's heading right for us.
For kids who'd never seen the 1933 movie, he was just the cool pilot. For parents watching alongside them, he was a familiar face in a very unfamiliar Kong story.
Is it okay, Dad?
Well, now, he looks like he might have a pretty big appetite.
Number 7. The robot that fooled everyone. Doctor Who's greatest invention was Mechanicong, a giant mechanical duplicate of our hero that could match him strength for strength.
What's the occasion? My apologies, Bond. Where's the animal?
You mean Kong?
That's right. Where is he?
But here's the twist nobody talks about. The Bond family never found out who built it. That's right. Across multiple episodes, they battled this massive robot ape, and they never discovered that their recurring nemesis Doctor Who was pulling the strings. He operated it remotely from a control room hidden inside the robot's head, playing them like puppets. The dramatic irony was off the charts. You, the viewer, knew exactly who was responsible, but our heroes just kept fighting the mysterious Mechanicong without connecting the dots. It's like if every Scooby-Doo episode ended before they pulled the mask off.
He's already knocked out the power plant and he's heading for the harbor.
Even Kong doesn't move that fast, General.
The show trusted its young audience to appreciate the secret, while the adults on screen remained clueless. Pretty sophisticated storytelling for a Saturday morning cartoon, honestly.
Very impressive.
I'll show it to you.
Number 6. Susan Bond, the girl who launched a movie star. Susan was the teenage daughter aboard the Susan B, named right there in the ship's title. She was the skeptical voice of reason, often perplexed by her younger brother Bobby's fearless friendship with a 50-foot gorilla.
We'll visit that children's home and then we can take our vacation.
Sorry, Kong. That's the price of fame. I'd better call Engelhorn.
Her role was classic 60s teen girl. Smart, level-headed, occasionally exasperated by the chaos around her. But here's what makes her special. She jumped from cartoon to cinema.
For all the good it does me, that tempo might just as well be on the moon as a half-mile offshore.
When King Kong Escapes went into production as a live-action film, they created Lieutenant Susan Watson as a direct tribute to her animated counterpart. The character design, the first name, even some of the personality traits made the leap.
Where could he have gone? Holly!
She wasn't just a sidekick in the cartoon, she became part of Kong's legacy. For a character who spent most of her screen time worrying about her family's safety, that's a pretty impressive career trajectory. Not bad for someone who started as Saturday morning animation.
Well, I think that's enough for your first lesson.
Gee, that was great!
Number 5. The Godzilla movie that was almost Kong's. Remember Ebirah, Horror of the Deep? That 1966 Godzilla film where the Big G fights a giant lobster and acts weirdly un-Godzilla-like. There's a reason. The script was originally written as a King Kong movie, literally titled Operation Robinson Crusoe, King Kong vs. Ebirah. When the Kong deal fell through, Toei reworked it for Godzilla, but they didn't change much. That's why Godzilla gets revived by lightning instead of nuclear radiation, and why he's so interested in a human woman. Those were Kong traits shoehorned onto the wrong kaiju. The show's success had sparked a movie deal, but rights issues killed it. So Kong's rejected script became a Godzilla adventure, and fans have been scratching their heads at that film's oddities ever since. It's the ultimate Hollywood recycling job. Somewhere in an alternate universe, there's a Kong vs. Lobster movie, and honestly, we were robbed.
Are we far from the North Pole, Commander Kraft?
About 65 miles. We were lucky to get this far.
Number 4. The historic first anime for America. Before Pokemon, before Dragon Ball, before Sailor Moon.
The boy and Kong are climbing the mountain.
Excellent. We'll be ready for them.
There was Kong. This show made history as the very first anime series produced in Japan specifically for American television. Rankin Bass, famous for those stop-motion Christmas specials, teamed up with legendary Toei Animation to create something unprecedented, a trans-Pacific co-production years before it became common. Japanese animators brought the show to life, while American producers shaped the stories for U.S. Saturday mornings. It was a groundbreaking cultural exchange hidden inside a giant ape cartoon.
But what are you going to do about it? We'll open fire.
You can't just blast away when people are around.
Most kids watching had no idea they were witnessing anime history. They just wanted to see Kong punch robots. But this partnership opened the door for decades of Japanese animation flowing westward. The next time you see a Crunchyroll subscription, remember, it all started with a friendly gorilla and a boatload of scientists. Kong didn't just battle monsters, he built a bridge between two continents.
Concentrate on something real hard, and I'll tell you what you're thinking about.
Number 3. When the Statue of Liberty became a monster. The show's monster designs went absolutely wild, and nothing proves it better than this. In one episode, the team fought a Statue of Liberty robot.
Until the entire West Coast is at my mercy, then I'll deal with the government in Washington.
Yes, Lady Liberty herself turned into a kaiju-sized mechanical threat, stomping through the streets. Forget subtlety. This show took an American icon and turned her into a walking weapon. It appeared in Statue of Liberty play, and it was exactly as bonkers as it sounds.
Well, looks like you made a friend, Bobby.
The creative team looked at everything from organic beasts to historical monuments and asked, can Kong fight that? The answer was always yes. This was the cartoon equivalent of throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck, and somehow a robotic national monument made the cut. You have to respect the audacity. In a series featuring alien invasions and mad science, weaponizing Lady Liberty still stands out as peak 60s cartoon chaos.
Kong has been right here all along, and he's here now.
That means nothing.
Number 2. The episodes lost to time. Here's the heartbreaker. Even on official DVD releases, you can't watch the complete show. Several segments, including King Kong's house and the Mechanicong segment, are listed as unavailable, likely lost footage or tangled up in rights nightmares that have kept them locked away for decades. Imagine loving a show as a kid, buying the DVD as an adult, and discovering whole pieces are just gone. It's like finding your favorite childhood toy with missing parts. Nobody knows if the original film reels deteriorated, got misplaced, or if licensing issues turned them into legal quicksand. Either way, there are stories the Bond family experienced that modern audiences will never see. For a show that already redefined Kong so drastically, losing any piece of it feels like erasing history. Somewhere in a vault, or possibly destroyed forever, our adventures will never recover. That's the tragedy of pre-digital media, folks.
What is it, Kong? What do you want?
Number 1. They turned Kong into a superhero and got roasted for it. The most controversial fact, critics called this show identity theft. To make Kong suitable for 1960s family television, producers transformed him from a tragic, terrifying beast into a gentle giant superhero.
Bobby, tell Kong to stay away.
He wasn't captured and exploited, he volunteered to help humanity. He didn't rampage through cities, he saved them. He was essentially Superman with fur, and purists hated it. One critic wrote that this was Kong done wrong, arguing the character had been sanitized beyond recognition. But here's the thing, a generation of kids didn't care about the 1933 film's tragedy. They wanted a hero, and Kong delivered. He protected his human family, battled evil scientists, and proved that monsters could be good guys too. Was it faithful to the source material? Absolutely not. Did it work as Saturday morning entertainment? The show's legacy speaks for itself. Sometimes wrong is exactly what the audience needs.
My friend out there, and he trusts me.
And I trust you.
Bonus fact, the ending brought Kong home. The series finale came full circle in the most poetic way possible. The final episode, titled King Kong in New York, or The Key to the City, depending on broadcast order, brought the giant ape back to the Big Apple. But this time, he wasn't a captive displayed in chains or a monster destroying Broadway. He arrived as a guest of honor, celebrated instead of feared.
Kong! King Kong! Hey! It's me!
After a season of saving the world, Kong got to visit the city where his legacy began, but under completely different circumstances. It was a deliberate callback to the 1933 film's iconic imagery, reimagined for this kinder, gentler universe. The show that turned everything upside down ended by honoring the original, just with a happier outcome. For a series that critics claimed betrayed Kong's essence, that finale was a respectful nod to where it all started. Beauty didn't kill this beast saved beauty instead. So there you have it, 10 wild facts about the show that turned King Kong into a globe-trotting hero before anyone else dared. From lost episodes to robot duplicates, from anime history to Godzilla's stolen script, the King Kong show was way more ambitious and bizarre than anyone remembers. And hey, if you ever wondered why your kid's anime obsession started somewhere, you can blame Kong. He got there first. Until next time, keep your giant ape friends close and your mad scientists closer. This is the Susan B signing off.